Welcome guys, in this video we're going to take a look at a simple inheritance example. Inheritance allows us to place code that is common in one parent class, so it doesn't have to be retyped and retyped, okay, as an example of what it can do for us. Okay, so we're in Visual Studio. Let's type here using system. Now you're going to say namespace, give the namespace the name shapes, like this, capitalize FRSS. Now within this we're going to place a class, and then a couple more classes. So the class to be placed here is going to be class quad, okay, like this. So quadrilateral, four-sided shapes. We're going to have a field called a private constant, use short, and num of sides equals 4. Okay, so private meaning it's accessible only here. Constant meaning it never changes. Use short is a data type. So unsigned short, little data type. Like that, okay? And then set the value equal to 4. Okay, because it's a quadrilateral, they'll have 4 sides. Now you're going to build a constructor, so public quad. And next you're going to say here console.writeLine, and we're all 4-sided shapes, period, close that with a semicolon. Now we are going to define one function here to be able to access that number of sides. So you're going to type a new word, protected, meaning accessible only to derived classes. So protected. We'll use the new notation, func. And int is the return type, and as you can see specifically it says delegate. We'll talk about that much more later. For our purposes, it's a shorthand way of doing functions. Okay, then you're going to give the name get sides and then equals. Then you're going to put an empty parentheses, meaning no input going into it, but it's going to map over to the action of num of sides and close that with a semicolon, like that, okay? So this will simply get the number of sides for us, this function here, using the modern function notation. Alright, great. So now, let's delete this. And we are going to make a class that derives from this one. So class rectangle, and you can say quad, and now you are going to say public func. So first here we'll set up a function that displays the perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, so you're going to type dynamic. It was a one input, dynamic another input, and then dynamic is the output. And then you can say find perimeter, and then you're going to say a comma b. So the inputs are 2, length of one side, the length of another side, and then this will return 2 times a plus 2 times b, and close that with a semicolon, like that, okay? So that's that. Now, next, we're going to say, I'm going to show you how to call a parent class function. So public int, and then get sides new. And here you're going to type return base dot, and then get sides, and close that with a semicolon, okay? So that's how you can call, for example, a function defined in a parent class. If you highlight get sides, right, place your cursor there, you see, everything else that's related is highlighted up in the parent class. Alright, so now you can delete this. Now we're going to define class user shapes. So class user shapes. Now we're going to say static void main, entry point into the program, and then we will say here rectangle rect equals a new rectangle. And now we're going to make use of everything that we've done thus far. So let me come. Now we're going to say console.writeLine, and then perimeter is, and then plus, and then you're going to say rect dot find perimeter, say 4.5 and 8.9. So it's a rectangle like that. Those are the sides. And now we're going to check the number of sides. So you're going to say console.writeLine, and then rectangles have, and then placeholder sides, comma, and then rect dot get sides new, and close that with a semicolon. There you go. So I'm going to delete this. And now look very carefully as the code as it runs. First of all, debug, and let's give it a build. Make sure it takes. I haven't made any silly mistakes. Okay, So debug and start without debugging first. And there's the information. So we're all four-sided shapes. Perimeter is that. Rectangles have four sides. Alright, hit enter. That checks. Let's go now with debug and step into. It's really important here. Alright, there you go. Give it a sec. It says loading symbols. Right there it is. So first we're going to make a new rectangle, and notice something. It's like go into the rectangle class, and then it goes all the way up to where it says public quad. So it's going to use the constructor for the parent class, right, and display it because we have inherited from quad. Right, and it's going to call find perimeter, but that is defined inside the rectangle class directly right here with this code. So it's just going to return that. And then it's going to call get sides new, right? But then take a look. It says return base.get sides, so that's going to call up to the parent class again. Return to here, and then return that to the calling code, and then it's going to display. You see? So we're all four-sided shapes. Perimeter is 26.8. Rectangles have four sides. Let's unload this from memory. There you go. So simple inheritance example. And what I want you to do now, and I will make a note of it in the project, is add a square class, inherit from quad also, introduce a new function that will calculate the square of, the perimeter of a square, and then again call get sides in the parent class, right, to confirm that it has four sides. There you go. So that's how you can extend this example. And of course you should definitely take now the time with a piece of paper, or maybe here in Visual Studio, design your own class, right? Think of some relationship, some parent class that you can set up, and then derive a couple other classes from it. Keep whatever behavior you feel would be common to everything within the parent class. Anything that needs further refinement, you place within the bodies of the child classes, you see? And so on. So that's it. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in another video.